Hey guys, it's rumbling everywhere. I just finished my video that there's an earthquake swarm at Campi Flegrei in Italy, the super volcano, the caldera there. But earthquake swarm on the Reykjanes Peninsula near Grindavik. We'll talk about that in a minute. But of course, the air pollution from the eruption that is going on right now, still going on since March 16th on the Reykjanes Peninsula in the Sutnuka crater series in direct proximity to the Blue Lagoon, a tourist attraction. And you know, if you know my channel, you know my friend, the Blue Lagoon. And guess what? Guess what? They're closed again today because of gas pollution. What a surprise. And check out their website here and check this out. Oh, no guys, I know what you're thinking. Did they finally get it? Do they finally do the right thing? Of course not, guys. That's just a joke. That's just something that I put there. Of course not. Why would they do this? This would be way too transparent and people would see right away what is going on when they look at this website, and they would be able to make informed decisions whether they want to go there and want to book there or not, because you have to book in advance to go there. Nope. This is the website. This is how it looks like. And you know, interesting how to get there. Have a look at the activities. We talked about this in my last video. If you don't know what's going on and you see that, yeah, okay, this is how I get there, and this is the other activities that I can do in that area, like hiking, biking, horse riding, whatever, right? But not that there's a magma chamber underneath that has caused multiple eruptions, that there's an eruption ongoing right now, and that there's air pollution, toxic volcanic gases, and that they have been evacuated like 7 times and have been closed many other times. Nope, nothing. And then the Icelandic newspaper, morning newspaper, MBL, they're writing something about it. They're writing that the Blue Lagoon is closed again, and they're basically saying, well, for more information, that's according to a statement that they released today on their website. I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be great, right? So you click on this and it's in Icelandic, of course. So then you click the English translation and I read this. And that is also the site where you end up when you click that banner there, read about the activities. So it dates April 14th, the day they are closed because of toxic air pollution, right? And it says, over the past few months, we have been reminded of the forces of nature and the effects they inevitably have on us all. We have resorted to temporary closures during this period, but also used the time to review emergency plans and improve the area's infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, weather conditions can affect air quality and therefore opening hours. We will send information if the situation changes. Thank you for your understanding. The Sutnuka crater series is active, but lava flows do not threaten the infrastructure at the Blue Lagoon's facilities. The main factors affecting the operation of the Blue Lagoon now are the effects of the eruption on air quality. We have expanded our blah, 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 blah. We continue to follow the recommendations of the authorities to the fullest and closely monitor blah, blah, blah. We work diligently every day to ensure the safety of staff and guests. Learn from experience. No, you don't. And use new knowledge in a constructive way. Well, just close it down. That would be constructive, in my opinion. So, information about the situation in Reykjanes, air quality and the conditions of the area can be obtained from the Icelandic Meteorological Office, Public Safety, and ruv.is. That's the air quality monitoring website. So there is no word that they're closed right now because there's toxic air there. It's blah, blah, blah. Nothing. I mean, a few weeks ago, they didn't even have that on their website. But that doesn't tell me, dear guests, we're really closed today because of toxic air pollution. Nothing. Nothing. If I go to book now, I can book now. There is no mention. And we know that in the fine print, it says basically that another YouTuber discovered this, that there is no refund if there's a natural disaster and they have to be evacuated or closed or whatever. And I've asked you guys, sent me, you know, If you were there, if you know somebody who was there, did they get a refund? Were they offered another free stay there, or nothing when they have been evacuated? Because you pay, there have been evacuations, emergency evacuations during the night when people were sleeping in their hotel beds. Did they get their money back? Did they get a voucher? Did they get anything? Or was it really like in the fine print? You know, Civil Defense also says you're on your own there, at your own risk. If you're in the hazard areas, the hazard map of the Meteorological Icelandic Office, you're at your own risk and you're responsible for your own actions and inactions. So if you die or if something happens to you, not our fault. That's how I interpret it. And the Blue Lagoon is in that area. You know, do I want to talk any further about this? It's getting so annoying because they're just so not transparent, and it gives me every day, it gives me the impression, and let me know guys if you feel the same, but that's how I feel. This is my opinion. You might have a different opinion, but I feel that they're doing everything to not let people know that this tourist attractions that rakes in so much money for Iceland is under constant threat of something. Eruptions, lava flow, now toxic air pollution. So they're playing it down, in my opinion. This how this looks to me, because otherwise have a red banner on your website and says, you know, dear tourists, be aware, this is going on. If you still want to come, you're welcome here. If you're elderly, if you have respiratory issues, small children, if you're not good on foot, if you can't get out there fast, please choose one of our other beautiful tourist attractions that are totally safe right now, the Sky Lagoon and all the other hot springs where people can go to if they want to go for a swim. But no, nothing like this, and it's really, really annoying. They're claiming they learn from it, and they just don't, because they keep doing what they're doing, you know. And what else can I say? Let's talk about the earthquake swarm that is happening around Grindavik right now. Oh, before we do that, I want to quickly mention that I have received various comments from viewers who know someone who was in the Blue Lagoon or would want to go there, and they said they did not know. They did not know in advance that there was an eruption going on, that there was a threat to the Blue Lagoon of toxic gases and stuff like this. And I have read reports about people that went there and then were kind of surprised because they didn't get a message about that. And that's what I'm criticizing. Let people make informed decision. If for a swim in warm water, do you want to risk your health? That's what people need to know, and that's what people need to decide. Of course, many say, well, if they know there's a risk and there's this eruption going on, people maybe might come anyways because they seek the thrill. That's okay, because they're fully aware what they're risking. But not people that don't know, you know, this is just not okay. And that's why I keep criticizing my friend, the Blue Lagoon. It's not okay. It's playing with the health and lives of innocent tourists that really do not need to be there. This is not life saving or anything that you need to be in that place. This is a tourist attraction and a spa. Okay. I'll shut up now. Let's get to Grindavik, because something very interesting is going on there right now. So the Icelandic Meteorological Office has released an update today, and the eruption keeps going. That one crater there keeps going as it has the last few days, so no changes there. I think, by the way, they should name that crater. I mean, it's been going on for quite a while. It should have a name, in my opinion, and it's a massive crater. It's really high, and it really looks like a volcano now, not just like a fissure eruption. So the land rise that is underneath the Blue Lagoon and Swartsengi is continuing at a similar pace that it had since the beginning of April. And there's the magma chamber underneath the Blue Lagoon and Swartsengi that is filling up with magma again from a deeper magma reservoir, despite the fact that magma is already flowing out to the Sutnuka crater and flowing out there as lava. So although there is a relief, pressure is building up again underneath that area in Swartsengi. So what have we seen? Quite a few small earthquakes, less than 1 in magnitude, have been recorded northwest of Grindavik in the last few hours, so today. And the activity is mostly located within the valley, that land subsidence that has formed on November 10th, because on November 10th, that magma chamber underneath Swartsengi has been full, has reached the point of maximum elasticity, could not hold more magma. That's why it was sending the magma out. And the magma had to form a tunnel, had to grind through the rocks. And that's why it was forming this 15-kilometer magma dike. Call it a magma intrusion. The magma did not come to the surface. It did not cause an eruption, but a massive amount of magma was sent out that was forming this tunnel that was going right underneath Grindavik and then into the sea. And because of that, it has formed a land subsidence, a valley, so to speak. And you can see this here on that map. It's basically here, the two lines. That's the valley that has been formed on November 10th. And then the smaller two lines, you see there was another intrusion that has led up to an eruption in January 14th. That was the eruption where a second southern fissure opened and burned down 3 houses of Grindavik. So we have these two valleys where the land was subsiding and therefore damaging the foundations of a lot of homes because the ground was going lower. So that's where we see the activity right now. And what they're saying is that activity right now is mostly located in and around that valley, that land subsidence that has formed on November 10th. And they're saying, what's the reason for these earthquakes? So what their estimate is, the reason is that there's the land rising again in Swartsengi, which can cause tensions in the other area, tension changes in the other areas. Well, you know, with that much magma underground, you know, you might think, oh, is magma moving there again? Is it? Can they tell 100% for sure? No, they can't. So let's hear what they're saying. They say, at the moment, the seismic activity is only northwest of Grindavik, and they're thinking that it's not considered likely that larger earthquakes will come with this swarm that is currently being measured, because if they're getting larger, it might be an indication that something's really grinding through the ground, that magma might be on the way there. Because, you know, they're saying if the magma from the magma chamber that is underneath the Swartsengi would think about going somewhere else, grinding another tunnel, and not go to the Sudnuka crater areas. For example, there's the volcano Eldverp, or just go south of the Mount Thorbjorn that is right there at the Blue Lagoon. If there was a possible eruption in another area, we would see very intense earthquakes, and a deformation would be clearly visible on the measuring instruments and on the satellite images as well. And they say at this point, there are no signs of that, which doesn't mean that it's not happening, but there are no signs of that. But remember, November 10th, that came as a surprise, so to speak. They say that the National Weather Service has a 24-hour watch to monitor that area and the eruption centers, and that they will continue to do so. Of course, so what we see here on that map with the red dots and the blue dots, that's basically the seismic activity between March 9th, so a few days before the current eruption, and today, April 14th. And as I just said, the two large black lines, that's the outer limits of that valley that has formed on November 10th, and the other one, that's the January eruption. So the vast majority of these earthquakes that are happening today have been smaller than one, and they are the red dots. If you look at the blue colored dots, that are the earthquakes that we have seen between March 9th and 14th. And we know the eruption then actually happened on March 16th. So were they telling a story that something is going on? I don't know. If they were, then would the current ones tell a story as well? That's the question. They're saying at this point, there are no indications that this means anything. So the current earthquakes are to the west, not where we have seen the other blue ones, right? The other blue ones were kind of in the area where we have the current eruption, but they were also on the western side. So is there a similarity? It looks a little bit like, you know, okay, maybe there's pressure building up again in the magma chamber. That's what they're saying. Maybe the current eruption that we have now will get stronger again once the magma chamber is filling up again, building up pressure and sending even more magma out to the current eruption. That could be a possible scenario as well, but it is really, really hard to tell. They have released another map that really shows how many large and long cracks are there in and around Grindavik. And if you look in the area northwest of Grindavik, there are many well-known cracks with a north-south direction, and those have opened and became more visible when that magma tunnel was formed last November. And that's why they're saying that the earthquakes that we're seeing in this area today are a sign that tension is being released on and in these cracks because of the land rise in Swartsengi. But if we look at the blue dots, so the same thing has happened a few days before the eruption began on March 16th. So that's why. Is there a correlation? Is there something going on? I think whenever there are earthquakes like this, there is something going on, but it is hard. The science is not there yet to really be precise and tell us what exactly is going on. So we will definitely have to follow up with this and have a close look at this, because I don't think that it's over yet. And the scientists don't think so. Thorwaldsen has said a while ago that he thinks if the current eruption dies down, that this could be it, that he doesn't expect any more eruptions in the Sutnuka crater series, but it doesn't look like this is the case because the magma chamber is filling up again. So should this eruption die down like the other eruptions did, the other eruptions did die down after a few days. This one's very persistent, but should it die down while the land keeps still rising, then this event or events like this will repeat. And that could repeat for who knows how long, right? And that's why I think it's the right decision that they have finally started to buy out the homes from people of Grindavik. They're getting 95% of the fire insurance assessment. People have filed petitions to reevaluate that price because the problem is, and residents of Grindavik are already saying this, they're going out of that deal with negative equity, with no chance to buy another house somewhere else. So that is in the works. The first homes have already been bought, but it seems it's not a super great deal for quite a few residents of Grindavik. I will keep you informed about that as well. I think while this process is going on down the road, we will know more from the residents of Grindavik and how happy they are with this, and if this gives them a chance to close that tragic chapter in their lives with their town being destroyed and basically uninhabitable. So guys, I hope you're having a great day, night, morning, wherever you are. Let's keep a close eye on what's going on in Italy as well with the super volcano there, because that has been really rumbling last night with the danger. That's what the scientists, and they haven't mentioned that before. I have never heard of it before. So check out that video. There's a risk of 100 feet 30-meter tsunami that might hit the coast, in addition to an eruption and earthquakes. And why would they be hit by a tsunami? I'll talk about this in the video, guys. It's really interesting. So check it out. It's here in the end screen. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, please don't forget to like this video. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I would love to see you again. Thank you so much, guys. I'm out of here.